Thanks so much for joining me on the Listen Up Girl podcast. I'm your host, Zach Randles-Friedman. Today is Friday, August 21st. I'm bringing you LGBTQ plus news. Before I get into the news, I just wanted to take a second to say, you know that feeling when you meet someone and it just clicks? That is what gayBFF.app is all about. It's a new app built around for making friends, not dates, not hookups, actual friends in the LGBTQ plus community. Whether you just moved to a new city, or you're looking to expand your circle of friends, or you just want a more queer friends in your life, gayBFF makes it easy to connect with people who get you. Currently, it's only invite only right now, so get in early. Go to gayBFF.app and request your invite today. Thanks so much for listening to that little intro. But let's get into the news because we have a lot. Today, we've got a data story that's turning heads, a world record from an out athlete who stopped mid-race to help a rival, a Chicago Film Festival unveiling its full lineup, a little celebrity drama between two comedy icons, a new comedy drama from our out filmmaker, and our one political story tonight, a Florida congressional candidate who's passed as an underwear model came back to haunt his campaign. So let's get into it. Starting with LGBTQ plus Americans are now 12% of the adult population. So we're starting out tonight with a number that's making headlines across the community. A new analysis finds that LGBTQ plus people now make up 12% of the adult population in the United States. The figure comes from a Human Rights Campaign Foundation analysis of Census Bureau data, drawing on more than 2.4 million entries collected between 2021 and 2024. That works out to roughly 26.5 million LGBTQ plus adults nationwide. HRC's president said it plainly. We're not a niche anymore, and no campaign, brand, or employer can afford to treat us like one. The analysis also found that bisexual people make up a majority of that group at more than 7% of all U.S. adults. And from a geography standpoint, we now have what HRC calls critical mass in nearly every state in the country. Numbers like this matter. Visibility isn't just a feeling, it's data. And the data says we are very literally everywhere. Love that. Next, Maria Perez sets a world record and stops to help a rival. Now for a story that's got nothing but good vibes. Openly gay race walker Maria Perez of Spain just set the inaugural world record in women's half marathon race at the European Athletics Championships in Birmingham, finishing in 1 hour and 30 minutes and 6 seconds, 24 seconds faster than the previous standard. That gave her European gold on top of the record. But here's the part everyone's talking about. Mid-race, her close friend and Italian Olympic champion Antonella Palmisano tripped on a metal barrier, jutting onto the course. Perez didn't just keep going. She reached out, grabbed her hand, and helped her regain her balance before continuing on to set the world record anyway. Perez is already a 4-time world champion and an Olympic medalist. And off the track, she's been a longtime advocate for LGBTQ plus inclusion in sports, fronting a national campaign in Spain called Sport with Pride, speed and sportsmanship in the same afternoon. That is a role model. And congratulations for making that world record and winning. Next, revealing Chicago's Film Festival unveils full lineup. So some exciting news for film lovers. Reeling, REELING, the Chicago LGBTQ International Film Festival, the second longest running queer film festival in the world, has announced its complete lineup for its 44th edition. It'll bring 11 days of an international queer cinema to Chicago theaters from September 17th to the 27th. We're talking 36 feature films, 59 shorts, representing 22 countries, organized into 10 theme programs. Spanish cinema has a big presence this year, including a U.S. premiere restoring the legacy of a queer Spanish writer whose work was branded under Franco's dictatorship. The festival opens at the Music Box Theater with a film from Cannes winning directing duo behind some of the Spain's most acclaimed recent queer cinema. If anyone is near Chicago this September, mark your calendar and be sure to get to that event. Sounds fun. Next, Jordan Firstman's new film, Club Kid. I keep hearing about this movie and I cannot wait to see it. So sticking with entertainment, out actor, writer, and director Jordan Firstman has a new comedy drama, and the premiere is a great one. Club Kid. It follows a New York City nightlife promoter whose entire club-centered exists getting upended when he learns he has a 10-year-old son. Firstman wrote, directed, and stars in it. Early buzz is calling this a fresh, funny, and take on growing up or being forced to later than planned. Keep an eye out for it, and we'll let you know when it's got a release date. Google the trailer. It is amazing. It looks like a great movie, and I can't wait for it. Now we go to Rosie O'Donnell and Kathy Griffin's friendly feud. So a little bit lighter fare for you, some drama between two beloved comedy veterans. Rosie O'Donnell is guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel's show this week, and her longtime friend Kathy Griffin publicly aired some hurt feelings about not being invited as a guest. In a video to her YouTube channel, Griffin said she felt blindsided, especially after Rosie brought up Griffin's controversial 2017 photo shoot in a recent podcast appearance. Rosie's response was short and sweet, posted right in the comments, "Kathy, you should have called me, honey. I didn't choose the guest." Fans mostly sided with Rosie, pointing out her podcast comments were actually sympathetic to Griffin. Two icons, one very public sisters fight. We'll keep you posted if they reconcile or if there's a sequel. They are friends, just so everybody knows. So no, there's no bad blood. I would have loved to see Kathy Griffin, and Rosie O'Donnell is doing amazing this week on Jimmy Kimmel. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Next, political story. The only one we have today. I'm trying to do less political. Former underwear model's anti-LGBT congressional run collapses. So now, tonight's one political story, and it's a wild one. John Strand ran in this week's Florida 19th District Republican primary as one of the most aggressively anti-LGBTQ candidates in the field, the kind of candidate who called Pride Month a very aggressive, explicitly sexual enterprise, while pushing to ban a local drag show. He also pardoned a January 6th defendant who once got a 32-month federal sentence. But here's the twist. A Mother Jones investigation resurfaced Strand's post as an international underwear model, with friends from West Hollywood modeling days in the early 2010s describing a very different life. One where, as a former roommate said, the group friend was prominently gay and he was a regular in WeHo's nightlife. Strand didn't get the White House endorsement, and on Tuesday he lost the primary outright. Sun Broadcasting president Jim Schwarzenegger won the nomination instead. Strand's anti-LGBTQ plus campaign in a deeply red district still wasn't enough to get past his own party's voters. Sometimes karma doesn't need our help. So that's today's show. If today's episode gave you something to think about or made you laugh at the last story, go ahead and hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. And if you've got 30 seconds, a rating and a review generally helps this show reach more people who need it. Share it with a friend and follow us on social media for updates throughout the week. I'm at The Real Zach R.E., Z-A-C-H-R-E, on Instagram and YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow with more LGBTQ news. And don't forget to download the gayBFF app. You can find it at gayBFF.app. Thanks for listening.